Catherine. All right, cool. So we're live, yeah. So just us three this week. Hopefully someone else joins. Oh, sweet. Cammie just joined the group. Cool.
Yeah, Maylee and I, she started a group meeting, so we were in there for like 15 minutes. We didn't know you had this one, so.
Okay, is this everyone?
Yeah, so everyone except for, I don't remember his name, but.
Austin?
No, Austin's here.
Oh, okay. That's okay. I feel like it's always 5 of us.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry guys. I don't know if you guys got the link, but me and Cammie were waiting for like 10 minutes on the other Hangout.
No worries. We just didn't think, and so that's why we just started this new broadcast. Either way, we're good to go now. We got everyone here, so. And I got everyone's names for the template, so we're good.
Okay. So should we go ahead and share our examples?
Yeah, you want to go ahead and go first?
Sorry, what was that?
Yeah, do you want to just go first?
Sure, I'll go first. Okay, so we were supposed to give an example that demonstrates when a minor is liable for a contract and when a minor is not liable, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have 2 examples. The first one is the example, or this first one is the example of a minor who is liable for a contract. So John, age 17, purchases a car from Wild Toyota for $1,500. John finances the car with Toyota for 72 months, making payments each month. After John reaches his 18th birthday, he continues making payments to Toyota for 3 months, then got into a car accident. John decides that he is going to avoid the contract and get his $1,500 back. But the fact that John reached the age of 18 and continued to make payments and use the car kept him from being able to avoid the contract. And then the second example is the example of a minor not being liable for a contract. And it says, Jenny and Fred are married and wants to purchase a car. However, they are both still minors and cannot obtain an auto loan. Therefore, in order for Fred and Jenny to obtain an auto loan, Fred lied about his age and said that he was 23 and showed the dealer a false identification card. Fred and Jenny bought the car. 3 months later, Fred got into a car accident and returned the car back to the dealership. Fred can avoid the contract, but he has to pay for the damages to the vehicle. So those are the 2 examples I have.
All right, I could go next if nobody else wanted to.
Okay, go ahead, Cammie.
Okay. So for my example, a minor who is liable, Sally, who's 17, was legally emancipated when she was 15 years old. She decides to sign a contract to lease a car for 1 year, and the dealership doesn't have an age requirement to lease. And since she's legally independent, she's able to sign the contract and keep that commitment. So she is able to sign that binding contract with the dealership, and she'll be responsible for it. An example when they're not liable. 2 months before he turns 18, Brad decides to try and purchase a car all by himself. He has good credit and looks over 18, so the dealership decides to sign a contract with Brad that will pay for the car over the next 4 years. the car and he's able to avoid having to pay for the rest of the car because he could get out of the contract since he signed it when he was a minor, and he still is a minor. So those are my two examples.
Sweet, that sounds good. I can go ahead and share mine next. So the contract that I have that is voidable is a kid named Wallace Williams and Bruce Roberts enter into a written contract where Wallace is a professional entertainer. He agrees to perform at Bruce's resort hotel for the week of July 1st through the 7th. So he basically agrees to perform for a week. And Bruce agrees to pay Wallace $25,000. $25,000 for performing. So in early May, Wallace has a hit single that makes him a lot more popular. And so because he's a lot more popular, he can basically now he can ask for $75,000 for a 1 week thing. So he can make a lot more money. And because he was under 18 when he made that contract of $25,000, he's able to void that contract and change the amount of money that he's requiring from Bruce to pay him. I think that's a contract that's voidable. Does that sound right to you guys?
Yeah, that sounds right to me.
At least from my understanding, that sounds good.
Right, that sounds good to me too.
Okay, just checking because I wasn't quite sure, but I was pretty sure that was a voidable contract. And then the example that I have of a non-voidable contract was pretty similar to Cammie's. It was just the fact that someone took out this girl took a 3-year lease out on a vehicle, but under the contract, it basically states that it's binding for a minor to sign the contract, and they acknowledge that. And so as a result, they're required to pay over the 3 years. It's an $8,000 lease that they're required to pay over 3 years, and they're bound under contract.
Okay.
I guess I can go. So the one who's the avoidable one, so John is a 17-year-old boy that had a contract with a music producer for his musical talent, and he agreed to the amount of $100,000 for 2 years. He later found out that this was lower than the other individuals with the same type of contract, so he decided that he didn't want to be in the contract anymore, and so that could be voided. Something that can be voided is Jane decides to live on her own at the age of 17 and get her own apartment. She enters into a 6-month contract, and then when she decides to go live with her parents again, she tries to get the contract voided, but this is not able to be met. Does that sound about right?
Yep, I think that sounds good too.
Yeah, it sounds good to me too.
Is Catherine on?
I think her sound isn't working again.
Okay. Oh, I forgot to mention, you guys. I do have a meeting at 5:30 on campus, so I will be leaving a little early. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's totally fine. We should be wrapping up right around then anyways.
Okay, perfect.
So I guess which examples did you guys like best?
I thought they were all pretty good.
Agreed. If I would have to choose, I'm gonna say either Cammy's or Josh.
I think Josh would sound good.
Great, let's go with Josh.
Okay, sounds good. I'll go ahead and copy and paste the both examples in the little chat box here, and then I'll put them on the template as well.
Okay.
So do we have to make like 2 questions for this template because it shows like liable and not liable? Or do we just use one of them?
I would assume that we would just do one, and then we'd have the questions like, is this, I don't know, is this person liable, or I don't know. What are you guys thinking?
Yeah, what you said makes the most sense to me.
Yeah, I think just do one example of it, and then just say like, is this minor contract? Will the minor be liable for this contract, or can he void it, or something like that?
That sounds
Okay,
good.
I'll just
So are we doing one where they're liable or not liable?
I don't know. I feel like we're supposed to include both of them in there. But I'm not sure how we're supposed to do that. So
Okay, one way that we could do that, we'd have to really make the language concise, but we could give kind of 2 examples, and then in the 4 questions we can say which one is, we can have like Jane and Jill, is which person is liable for the contract and which is not. And we can have A and B, and then none of them.
sure, I like that idea.
yeah, I think that's a good way to do it.
Hey Josh, how are you doing? Do you need help with anything?
No, I'm doing good. Could you, so did we agree on a question that we wanted to have for the exam? I'm kind of up to that point.
Okay.
Like, yeah, if you guys could just come up with like a question, I can either write it out, or if one of you, whoever comes up with like the best question, could you just paste it in the little chat bar here, and just paste like different ideas of um, what we can do for like wrong answers and stuff too. That way I can just copy it over to the template.
Aren't we just doing which situation is liable and doing the A, B? What way was the question laid out?
So I was thinking we could just do. So you guys just want to use the example of the Wallace Williams and Bruce Roberts who entered into a contract, and then you can say, and then we'll word it as, is this minor liable for the contract they previously made of $25,000? And then we could put yes or no questions, like yes, because he's under 18, so you need to take pity on him, or something like that. You could do something like that as.
Sounds good.
Okay, sounds good. I'll write that out then. And then we just need to think of a couple wrong answers, a couple more wrong answers.
Hey guys, I have to run over to my other meeting now, so I'll see you guys next week.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, you guys have a good week.
Okay, I'm gonna paste the exam question right here just so you guys can read that and see if you like it. I just said, I'll read it too. It just said, in this example, would the minor be required to honor his previous contract with Bruce? Do you think that's enough, or should I put his previous contract with Bruce of $25,000? His previous contract with Bruce, where he would be paid $25,000.
I kind of like that one with the 25,000. Yeah.
Just adding in, I'll just add in his previous contract with Bruce, where he would be paid $25,000.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so for the correct answer, I put no because in this example, Wallace Williams is a minor and is not liable to the contract previously agreed upon. Sound good?
Sounds good to me.
And then for the 3 wrong answers, I put the one that Austin pasted. No, he's not liable because any minor who signs a contract is liable up to $750,000. And then I put the one that Cami put in there. Yes, he's liable because once you sign your full name on a legal contract, you are liable. And then I also put no, as a minor, you should take pity on him and forgive the contract.
Yeah, those all sound great.
Okay, sounds good. And then I'll type up some additional feedback. I can do that just really quick on my own if you guys want, or we can talk about it. Either way works.
I have to go to work here in a few minutes, so if I could leave, if you don't need help, that would work best for me. But if I can, okay.
I'll just email you guys if I need additional help. If you could just in the recording and just send me the link of the Hangout, I'll put that into the template and send that in today right after I finish. And then do you guys just want to plan on next week at the same time? Does that work for you guys or?
Yeah, that works for me.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, sweet. How'd you guys do on the exam too? If you don't mind sharing.
I haven't looked at my scores yet.
Yeah, pretty well. I haven't looked at like the ones I got wrong, but
I need to look at it too, but
hopefully there's something to petition. If any of us come across something that's just blatantly weird, then we should just tell each other.
yeah. Okay, sounds good, guys.
All right, well, unless you need my help anymore, I'm going to sign off, so I'll see you guys later.
Okay, sounds good. See you guys.